Hey there, let's begin with what our problem statement aims to achieve here. In simple terms, our solution helps simplify the querying process of any resource which an organization possesses, thereby helping in its day-to-day activities. But in any organization, there are multiple personas and some number of policies which are tied along with these personas, so that certain actions are accessible only among members belonging to a certain persona. Yes, ultimately, our solution provides a resource querying with a role-based access control. Now, moving on to our applications workflow. Consider the scenario of a hospital here. We have provided different access levels for the members belonging to this hospital. Here I will be signing with the doctor's credentials. Once I have logged in successfully, I will be redirected to my upload page. And here in this page, I can fill in the reports for individual patients and finally upload the report. So once the report has been uploaded, I can navigate to the route for the chatbot and query with it. Here I'll be querying certain information based off of the report which I previously uploaded. It is observable here that the reports are summarized by the bots up to a good extent. Now, let's sign in with a different persona, having a different level of access. In this case, with that of a finance administrator. Now, upon signing in, I'll be able to upload reports corresponding to the finances of the organization. Now, similar to the patient reports, the finance administrator will be able to query correspondingly from the reports which he uploaded. However, this querying is a little bit different from the previous one which the doctor queried. Here, the user will be only able to query from the finance resource, and he is not able to query from the patient's health reports at all. This is based on the role level access that we have provided for him. The process of developing this solution was made much easier than it should have been, and the reason for this is that we have been using Azure services for the sake of our development. Data provided by different personas are stored in lakehouses as individual semantic models which can be queried from by a generative AI model after undergoing retrieval augmentation. Our solution also provides a dashboard leveraging Power BI statistical capabilities for the organization to analyze their resources. Now, moving on to the architecture of our application. The user initially logs into our application and the authentication is done by a backend Express server. So now he is able to provide some reports towards the server, or any sort of reports which corresponds to his level of policy. And this policy is verified by a server which is also executed on the backend. And data from this report and these reports are sent to the Microsoft's Fabric API. And here there are three stages. In the first one, the raw data is just stored into the lakehouse. And in the next layer, which is the validation layer, the data is processed into delta tables. And finally, insights and data are pulled from this data for business intelligence and vector database, respectively. Now, the data from here is ingested towards a vector database for a large language model to later query from. And this process is handled by a Flash server. Any process regarding the communication between the vector database and the large language model is handled by this. So now the user is provided with a chat functionality which he can use to query by the help of the LLM into the vector database.